I'm finding that as I move towards what I want, the feelings change, and all the work that I've done to go in that direction, I have to stop and retune myself.
For example?
I want to be places, but I realized that I also, as I started getting there, that I didn't have the time, and I didn't have my resources and my network in place, and I couldn't enjoy myself. So as I realized that I wasn't getting the feeling, I had to stop and readjust and start looking at what.
So what did you mean when you say, I want to be places? What do you mean?
Well, what I want to do is I want to be on a blue beach November through April. But as I started to go there, I realized that not only do you have to, have a way to get there, you have to have a way to enjoy your life. And then when you come back, you need a place to be. So I started realizing that, I want.
But you see, this is the thing that we so want you to hear, and it's the reason that you are the perfect person to help us explain it to everyone, is that when you think about being on that beach from the time that you want to be there till the time that you want to leave there, and you focus completely on the pleasure of that experience, then you offer no resistance. In other words, it's like saying, this is what I want, and in your envisioning of it, you're in alignment with it. So now you're in the perfect place for the universe to put somebody on the stool next to you in some restaurant in order to accommodate you. In other words, by thinking of what you want and why you want it, you line up with it. But then as you get involved in how you're going to get there and how long you'll be able to stay and what's going to be happening when you get back, now all of a sudden you've introduced all that resistance to it, which means now you're not a pure signal to what you're asking for. So now it can't happen. Are you getting the sense of this? This is why we understand your desire. We understand your desire to be hands-on in the creation, but we want you to be thought-on. We want you to be gut-on. We want you to be emotion-on. We want you to be alignment-on. We want it to be a mental, vibrational, emotional game that you're playing, and let the universe orchestrate the circumstances, and then you use all your action to enjoy what you've created through your alignment, you see. By getting too detailed in it, you're sabotaging yourself because you keep asking questions that you don't have answers to, so it keeps turning you upstream or separating you from what you're really wanting. When you were thinking about this money that you want and thinking about somebody that you could ask for it, so you offered that thought, remarkably, we have to say, in a rather non-resisted way. It was almost in the category of a pipe dream. In other words, it was sort of like, oh yeah, I'll think this because there's no risk in thinking this thought. I'll think this, yeah, I could do that. And in the clarity of the thought and the whimsicalness of the thought and the utter absence of plan, you were in alignment, so much so that the universe said, gotta answer that signal. What's the path of least resistance to answer that signal? Oh, there's his wife. Inspire her to come in. She could sit there. No, but inspire her to sit there. And we're not kidding you. Orchestration, universal orchestration is happening all around you just like this all day, every day. So now you're saying, I have this other plan, but it's quite different. This other plan that you've just revealed to us, you've already got it all congested and convoluted with all this other stuff you're worried about. That plan doesn't have a chance unless you clean it up.
It's not that I'm worried about it. It's just that I've had experiences in my life that if I wasn't paying attention to the details, I would get things that weren't specific. So I said, okay,
well, here's the rule. But the rule of thumb is be as specific as you can be and still feel good. And all of those specifics that you were applying just now were contradictory, resistance-forming specifics. Be as specific as you can be and still feel good. We've noticed, feel the difference between I want $500,000 tomorrow and I want $500,000 eventually. Or I want $500,000 as quickly as it can make its way to me, or I need $500,000 tomorrow. In your more general statement, there's less resistance. In your more specific statement, there's more resistance. Now, the fun of it is, it really, really gets fun, and you've lived some of this. It really gets fun when you can be specific with no resistance. When you come to the place of trusting these laws and trusting your ability to focus, and you've noticed the correlation between what you've been thinking and feeling and what's manifesting enough that you recognize the feeling. In other words, it's so beneficial to have something so remarkable as saying, I'd like to meet so-and-so so that I could ask him for some money, and then the universe immediately giving you an avenue, and you saying, now let's see, let me replay the visceral feelings of that. Did it feel hard? No. Did it feel easy? Yes. Did it feel awkward? No. Did it feel natural? Yes. Was it hard to have a conversation with her? No. Did it flow easily? Yes. In other words, alignment feels like this. Alignment feels like this. So as you replay what worked, as you replay, yeah, but she walked out the door, then you don't receive the benefit from that. As you replay, oh, look how close that was. Look how good the universe is. Look how easily my wishes are granted. Look how easily my prayers are answered. Look how easily my solutions come to my problems. Everything that I'm asking for comes. I just have to watch that and watch for evidence of that until I coax myself into this faith, belief, knowing that I am the center of the universe, and that all I have to do is make a statement of request. And in the moment that I make the request, source energy swoops in around it and tends to it. And then my entire work is bringing myself into alignment with what I've been asking for. And the thing that we so much want you to hear is that while it is fun to specify the details of the way you think you want your life to unfold, if you will specify the emotional details, the feeling details. In other words, rather than saying, I want to be on a beach that has this many buildings and this many tents and this many clothed bodies and this many naked bodies and this temperature of the water and this many concession stands, or this absence of people or this presence of people. Instead, if you will say, I want to be on a good feeling beach. I want to be in a place that feels good to me. I want to feel the serenity of my being. I want to feel the well-being. I want to lie there in the non-restricted environment. I want to lie there in the non-contested energy field. I want to lie there knowing my well-being and my clarity and feeling the well-being of this planet around me, seeing the beauty of the water and feeling the warmth of the sand and knowing the well-being of my being and feeling proud of myself for my life here and feeling satisfied with who I am and who I've become. I want this beach to wrap around me and make me feel the perfection of that which I am. As you find those feeling tones, there's no resistance, and then every other detail that you've been throwing into it all the days of your physical life will be able to be given to you too. So much so that as it unfolds, you'll say, I do not believe that in my wildest dreams I ever could have imagined the perfection of this moment as it is unfolding. If we sat here with you and you only for day after day after day, you would never be able to even come close to articulating the perfection of what's in your vibrational escrow. You don't have the vocabulary and you don't have the time to offer the details of it. But we want you to know that it is there. It's where you began with us. You said you can see that. We want you to know that it is there and it is vivid, and that you have added to it incrementally all the days of this experience and before. And so when we say to you, ask and it is given, we're not kidding. And when we say to you, you have asked and it has been given, we're not kidding either. And now as we say to you, you have asked and it has been given, and now you've got to find a way to line up with it, we're really not kidding. And when we say, and the way that you line up with it is by feeling your way there, not thinking your way there. You say, you don't think your way there, you feel your way there. You love your way there, you appreciate your way there, you bask your way there. And what's gone wrong with so many of you, you think that creation is about mind. You think it's about dictating what you want clearly. You think it's about emphasizing it and goal setting and writing it down and training your mind. It's not about training your mind. It's about feeling your way to it. It's about feeling your way along the path. It's about following the path of enthusiasm. It doesn't light up visually, it lights up emotionally. So when someone says, come with me, and you think, nah, don't go. But when someone says, come with me, and you think, man, I'd like to do that, go. When someone says, have you read this, and you don't feel anything, then don't. If someone says, have you read this and you feel it, then go. It lights up emotionally. It doesn't light up mentally. It lights up emotionally. It feels good. It feels good. But you see, it can't really light up in that big way and feel really good if you're not up here high on the path. In your mode of appreciation, it lights up in such a way that you want to scream, hell yes. But if you're over here in despair or revenge or anger or even frustration and overwhelmment, it doesn't feel like that. It just feels better. It's the path of least resistance. It's the thing that feels the best from where I am. So that's why we said earlier, your choices are not fabulous or horrible. Your choices are which feels better and which feels worse. And it isn't until you really get yourself consistently in this mode of feeling wonderful that it lights up in such a way that it just knocks you over. You got to be thrilled at the idea of your abundance, not discouraged that it hasn't come yet. You got to be thrilled at the promise of the future before the promise of the future can be yours. You've got to be so excited about your impending wellness that you're not worried about your current illness. It's mood, it's attitude, it's vibration, it's creation. Everything else is regurgitation, you see. You are creators and you create through your emotions. So what you think has a feeling response, because you're over here as source energy thinking, and you're over here as a physical human thinking. And so these thoughts are converging, and you're having an emotional response about how well they match. So source says unequivocally all day, every day, I love you, I love you, I love you, you are lovable, you are worthy. And when you think, I'm not smart, I'm not good, you feel the discord of those thoughts. So as you start loving yourself more and loving yourself more and loving yourself more and loving yourself more, so that you love me, I love me, I love me, now there's one vibration going on relative to that subject. When you find someone and you choose them and make them your enemy, and you say, you have wronged me, I hate you, it's bad what you have done, no matter who they are, source is over here never feeling anything even close to that. And when you are feeling that, you've caused a separation. You must bring yourself into vibrational alignment with what the source within you feels. That's why it is all an emotional game. So when we say that you have already become this prosperous being, that time that you spend in your mind thinking about that beach that you want to spend time on, that has already been achieved. And you just have to not do that thing you do that takes you to a place that's different from that, you see.